August 22nd, 2022, internet phenom Andrew Tate was kicked off of Facebook and Instagram. YouTube, TikTok, and Discord were all quick to follow, and this unanimous deplatforming has led to two very different responses from the internet. One of rejoice, and the other of complete backlash. If you're on the side that believes that Andrew Tate's deplatforming is a bad thing, you're probably wrong, and here's why. In the months prior to his deplatforming, Andrew Tate had amassed a significant following of nearly 5 million Instagram followers, 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and over 125,000 members on his private Discord server, a Discord server which costs $50 to participate in. Now, those numbers are impressive, but the bulk of Tate's notoriety came from TikTok, which was a platform that he never even had an account on. Despite him not having an account, he had thousands of fan accounts that were spreading thousands of videos daily, garnering millions of views for Tate and for his brand. While undeniably a successful venture in making money for Tate, his methods and tactics have done potentially irreparable damage to an entire generation of young men and women. Now look, the purpose of this video is not to ostracize you or other Tate supporters, but to demonstrate exactly how dangerous Tate and people like him are and why. See, Andrew Tate is not unique. He's not the first to utilize these methods for fame and fortune, and he certainly won't be the last. Andrew Tate is not the cause of the problem, he's a product of it. Because Tate and the people like him have discovered and exploited a few very simple methods to getting the attention and support of young, impressionable men. These people know that young men in their teenage years and early 20s are particularly susceptible to a few things. Number one is the need to feel and prove their masculinity. Number two is feeling completely alone and misunderstood by the world. Number three is being told constantly that they are the cause of a lot of society's problems right now, and that the world is angry at them. The reason that I know this is because I was a victim to it at one point, as were multiple of my friends. I get it, I really do. You probably feel that Tate understands you, and a lot of the things he says resonate with you in ways that a lot of people never have before. I'm willing to bet at the beginning you probably knew and felt that a lot of the things that Tate said were completely awful and wrong, but he would very quickly redeem himself by saying something wholesome and commonly accepted and morally correct shortly after. Good chance you found a sense of community and other like-minded people while interacting with Tate's videos, or even on his Discord server. You know what? Absolutely none of that is by accident. The unfortunate thing is that Tate is right about a few things. Society has failed young men in many ways. Growing up, you feel like you shouldn't have emotions, much less express them. You feel like you have to be hypermasculine in order to be considered a man. You feel like women, or you're told that women, don't want a man unless he's tall and successful and wealthy. And if you don't have or you aren't those things, then no woman will ever want you. Again, I get it. I grew up in the same world. So did Tate. He knows what you think and how you feel. He knows what your insecurities are, and he knows what makes you mad, and that's why he tells you things like, only I can get you out of the matrix, and look at me, I've got money, women, masculinity. He tells you over and over again that he can teach you and lead you to the life that you've always dreamed of living, the life that he leads with women, money, and cars, and he shows you every single day. Before long, you're paying money to access his Discord server, Hustlers University. You're posting videos of Tate, getting thousands of views and attracting people with like minds like you. Comment Tate W on every video you see of him, and telling your friends to sign up for the Discord too because it gets you a discount. You probably feel like top G in training. Well, his pyramid scheme business model is predatory and is probably very bad for the financial responsibility of the younger generations. It's not even close to the most dangerous part about Tate. The most dangerous part about Tate is that he weaponizes those vulnerabilities for retention. By exploiting the loneliness of young men and the feeling of needing to prove themselves, paired with telling them that women in the world hate them and will continue to hate them unless they follow his advice and escape the matrix, he not only reinforces those feelings, but he validates them. And then he uses that validation to continue the cycle because his Discord isn't just a $50 buy-in, it's $50 a month. It's a subscription. The more support he gains, the more ridiculous things he says. The more ridiculous things he says, the more backlash he gets. The more backlash he gets, the more he redeems himself with wholesome and correct things. Each cycle broadening the audience he reaches, bolstering the support of his core supporters, and in turn growing his Discord and bank account. Tate has mastered social media marketing by exploiting the insecurities of young men that society has created. He simply uses inflammatory statements to make money, and you can see other creators echoing that, people like Sneeko, who know that controversy breeds clicks and clicks breed money. But here's the thing. There is no matrix. The world that Tate describes just simply doesn't exist. Not on a large scale, anyways. The issue with people capitalizing on controversy is that those inflammatory statements have real-world consequences. You want to know why women claim that men are awful? Because of men like Tate that teach other men that women are objects and they should serve a role and be subservient to a man, and that a man must be dominant for a woman to want them. You want to know why you feel the incessant need to prove your masculinity? Because of men like Tate that teach men that they're not a man unless they're the strong, silent type. Because emotions are for women, and that's what makes them crazy, right? They tell you that you're not masculine unless you fit a certain mold, which coincidentally they portray. Do you want to know why you feel constantly alone in the world? You guessed it, because of men like Tate that feed you all of this bullshit that makes you so jaded and angry and arrogant to anybody except for those with a similar mindset that nobody really wants to be around you. The more you buy into Tate's bullshit, the more isolated you become, and the more isolated you become, the more Tate seems like the savior that he claims he is. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy for many. You know what you really need? Therapy and self-accountability. You want to really be a man? Take responsibility for yourself. Has the world failed you? Has society failed young men? For sure it has, but so what? You're just going to give up? That's it? You're just going to turn your back on the world and everything that you could have because you're a little bit upset? Grow up. Allow me to share 2 quotes that I live my life by. The first is, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Understand this and you will find strength. And the second is, only attend to yourself and resolve to be a good man in every act that you do. Both are quotes by Marcus Aurelius, history's most revered examples of not only manhood, but leadership. A common sentiment in Aurelius' writing is that you only have one life and you alone choose how you live it. Are you sure you want to continue being an angry and bitter young man who feels that the world has done him wrong and now he has to prove himself better than everyone by asserting dominance, treating women like shit, and making enough money to own a Bugatti? You're angry and alone and in desperate search for a role model to teach you how to be a man. Let that role model teach you how to live a happy and healthy life. Life that would make you proud and would leave those close to you proud. Andrew Tate has taught thousands of young men that women are objects, that they should always be angry at the world and that the world is angry at them, and that they are alone and helpless without him. He has ruined the lives of thousands of young men and put the lives and well-being of thousands of young women at risk through his words and his actions. People like Andrew Tate do not deserve to have a platform, and him being deplatformed is not a violation of his First Amendment speech. He's not the top G, and he's no Morpheus showing you how to exit the Matrix. The Matrix doesn't exist, and in this, the real world, you are owed nothing by anybody. With the voices of millions of men and women around the globe begging you to reconsider your role model and your outlook on life, will you pause for a moment of self-reflection after this video? Or will you double down on the path to fulfill that self-fulfilling prophecy of loneliness, anger, and insecurity? The choice is yours and yours alone, but the outcome and repercussions of that choice are not yours alone to bear.
Whether you believe it or not, the shit that Andrew Tate is saying will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine, because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people in a way that will not show until years from now, and it is dangerous.